to share my journey to improve the ergonomic of my way of working and improve the situation of my RSI. So RSI is a common problem for developers, and in my case, after many years, I wanted to improve the situation, so I started looking for alternative and new way of working. And so I discovered in this journey um, some website where they talk about small keyboards, and I was convinced to give it a try because the main argument is, um, if you have less keys, then you need to stretch your fingers um, less, and in particular, programming on 34 keys, every key is one key maximum distant. Um, so, because of this, I decided to start this journey. And there was also another site that is talking about the home row mods. The idea is that you want to put Control, Command, Shift, and Alt on the home row so that if they are pressed alone, they are the normal letters of QWERTY, otherwise they are the modifiers. So these new ideas, they push me to try to adopt them at the beginning with Carabiner. So Carabiner was the first tool I used, but I have to be honest, if you go beyond the normal, the caps lock is a control, yeah, that's it. It's not for this kind of customization. So what I have done eventually, I switched to Kmonad for some time, and Kmonad was very good. I was able to do a lot of things, you know, and in the end, it was a good intermediate step to, customize the MacBook keyboard. But in the end, the problem is that the MacBook keyboard is not an ergonomic keyboard, So Kmonad was not the end game for me, you know. And so eventually, I bought my first mechanical keyboard with QMK software. And so this mechanical keyboard is very cheap, and I really advise to buy it if you are starting this journey, because you can start reducing the number of keys, but you don't need to go immediately to 34, and it's still, staggered like the additional keyboard. They just, here you can see they remove some keys, and it gives you two keys with the thumbs. So this was an intermediate step for me to start reducing the keys, and the nice thing is that you can use VL with this keyboard. So the firmware is proprietary, but it's actually a version of VL. And with VL, you can select. Now I have the other keyboard, but here you can configure the keys without compiling and flashing the firmware. They just change immediately as soon as you change them, right? So you can assign another key or go back to and the change is immediately effective. So that keyboard helped me a lot, and eventually I decided to buy Ferris sweep, and in Reddit there is a second-hand market, and I found this Ferris sweep that I bought second-hand, assembled by another guy, and I'm assembling mine right now, but I'm taking my time because I need to make experience on how to solder. So if you want to have ergonomic keyboard, either you buy one already assembled or you buy it second hand. And I like the Ferris whip. I think is the best layout for me, and it is very small. Now, I think the next step um, here is to show you how I configure my environment with the Ferris whip, QMK, and the rest of the tools. So I will switch to VL, and I will explain you very quickly how it works. So you plug the keyboard, you start the app, and you can immediately see the layout and you can start playing with it. So the first thing is that compared to a normal keyboard, you will have layers, so like the shift, and so this will enable you to use 34 keyboard keys, but actually you have 34 multiply 5. And the other thing is that I did eventually I started because I wanted to try the home row mods, but actually it didn't work for me. And so the problem with the home row mods is that you need to learn the timing, but I do a lot of rolling. So um, for example here shift and set. So if I press set and then X, then I have two characters. But if I roll over set and X, I will do, instead of set and X, I will do shift X, you know. So that's the problem of the home row. So now imagine if you have the modifier here for ASDF and JKL and backspace, then it's gonna be really a lot of command another letter instead of two letters. So I decided to abandon the home row mode and to adopt the column layout that should be somewhere here in the links, and the columns key map that I found here. They don't put the home row mods, but they have the modifier in a different layout, and I even replaced that approach too, so now I would say I don't keep almost. So here what they do, what column does in his layout, he has two keys to enable the layout, and then if he press both keys he has a third layout. But I prefer another approach that I have. First of all, I have the layout toggler here, so you can tap left thumb or right thumb to enable layout 2 and 4. But if I go to 2 with this, then I can do another command that is set the default layout to 1. So it means that 1 doesn't require any key to be pressed. It's just becoming the default layout. So 0, 1, and 3 are default layouts, and they enable with this sequence. So with two keys doing 1, 2, 1, 2, or just 1, you can have 5 layers, and it's very convenient. Then the other decision is to put the backspace here, that I think is so convenient because you need to backspace so often, and having the backspace on the pinky so that you don't need to move your hand, I find it very convenient. And then it took some time, but I decided eventually to do tab ESC space enter. I always press the tab with the right thumb, so for me it was the first layout to try. Then the enter here, yeah, much better than on the pinky. And then the ESC and the tab, because if you are coder and VI, Vim bindings, of course you need to have the ESC and the tab. They are too important. And then the three symbols here, comma, so comma, dot, and single quote, so that I can write English without a modifier. And then the symbol, all the symbols, they fit in 34 keys. So that's very lucky. And then the backspace, so that if I'm tapping a symbol and I press the wrong one, I can still press the backspace without lifting my finger from the symbol key. And then the numbers on the layer number 1. And in this case, with the layer number 1, I don't need to keep any key thumb pressed, and I have the VI arrows and also the wheel, because the mechanical keyboard has a microcontroller that can simulate an external mouse. And then copy and paste stuff, because I use this layer when I use the Finder, so I'm able to do command up to move in the Finder, and then copy and paste files. And these are, so layer alphabetic layer, then the symbol layer, then the numeric layer, plus the Finder layer, and the last layer is the navigation. So this is highly integrated with Yabai, and I use Yabai with 6 keys more or less. So these are the 4 keys that I use in Yabai. And in Yabai, I just always have for desktop, even if I have 1, 2, 3 monitors. And these for desktop, I can access them with these 4 keys. So I can do A, S, D, F. And then if I press Control, then I don't switch the focus, but I move the window. So right now, here I have 2 windows, here I have another window, so I'm in desktop number 3, desktop number 2. So I move the window in number 3 to number 2, and now I have 3 windows. Now, is a tiling manager, people will start saying, oh, what's going on here, where are the tiles? Okay, but Yabai, you can put it in stack mode, that I think is much better. And then all the windows, they always open maximum space, maximized. And then the question is, how can I move faster between the 3? So because I can press this, next, if I press Control, back, next, backward, next, previous, with the controller, or next, with just one hand. Now how can I move faster? So I have other 2 keys, and so in total 6 to manage Yabai. One is this toggle between BSP and stack, and now I am in BSP, and then move the focus. And this is move the focus per monitor for display, so it doesn't move the focus to the other display. And then I can choose this one, and then I can move it to the center. So now I'm in desktop 3. So usually I have 3 monitors, so 1 and 2 desktop are in monitor 1, desktop 3 is in monitor 2, the one of the MacBook Pro, and the monitor on the right is desktop 4. So this is Yabai, how I've integrated with the mechanical keyboard with QMK. What else? The other very convenient thing of a mechanical keyboard is that I switch to Chrome, and then I can switch the tab without changing, without making too much effort. So I go to Chrome, then I press 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go back to the editor, back to Chrome, change the tab, back to the editor, back to Chrome, and stuff like that. And the same thing also with the terminal. So that's another advantage of having a programmable keyboard. What else? Monkey type. I can do a demo as always. I will not be super fast. Usually I'm 80 words per minute, but probably I will do much less now because it's difficult to focus. Yeah, okay, 60, not bad. Some errors. Yeah, of course, difficult to perform. But usually I do 80 when I am relaxed. And yeah, so what are the major changes that had with RSI? Um, the 34 layout keys layout, Yabai, no more strange, make a screenshot, strange combination of keys. Everything is optimized. Um, this is the this is the layout for the keypad. As you can see, is from so left, right, then it changes the default. Now always with left I can go to the layer 0, otherwise I have the YouTube layer, so I can move around, enable the subtitles, make full screen, pause, volume up and down, and mute. Um, yeah, as you can see, still a lot of space for other keys. Um, but the big changer was using VL and a mechanical keyboard, like the Cooler Tron or the Ferris Whip, is that you can really change, make a test, use it for 5 minutes, roll back, and eventually you will converge. Try different layout, you can start from mine, then try something different. Yeah, so you find everything here in this project. I made this video for an introduction. To recap, I started because of RSI. I discovered the small keyboards, the um, you know um, self-made keyboards. I discovered this type of keys, 20 grams. So if you build a keyboard, give it a try, because I find the soft keys much better. So the keys here in the Ferris Whip are linear. They are called the blue chalk. These are the 20 grams. They are the softer keys that you can buy. And after a little of training, if you switch to the other keyboards, it's like to type on the wall. You find them so hard. And so this helped with my RSI a lot because it's ergonomic, it's a split keyboard, and is linear, so you don't have the initial bump, and it's only 20 grams, so I can really, put almost zero effort, and the key is pressed. I have my hands floating on the keyboard, so I don't um, put my wrist on a support, but then I have the elbows of the chair that are supporting my arms. Then VL, I think is a must, because you need to iterate very quickly. Yabai is a must. Here I put all the scripts that I use right now. I use also Alacrity, Fish, Tmax, Raycast, Home Row. Home Row is this tool. I can press, then I can use the keyboard to navigate in the browser. Monitor control is this utility to change the brightness on external monitor. Space ID is this one, so that I know in which space I am. And then Happy Yabai is my project for because some commands in Yabai, I didn't want to do them in a shell script, so I've written a Python utility and I made it open source. Okay, so this is the journey for me, and I hope it will help you if you have an RSI problem like me. Thank you, everybody.